Hey everybody! We're back with more Ace Attorney Chronicles 2 Resolve! Exclamation point, all that jazz. So last we left off, we had started part 1 of our trial in the defense of Soseki-san Natsume, or Natsume Soseki again. Part 2 of his defense in Great Britain. And we had just completely diverted everyone's attention to the fact that William Shakespeare was stealing gas. So here we are. Let's continue. Yes. It sounds deeper. I just coughed. It'll probably come back in a minute. Back in the attic. Our desk is gone. Or was it ever here to begin with? Oh yeah, that's right. This was still 2 months ago, back when we were first moving in. Flashbacks, gotta love them. Woo, we made it back back in one piece, just. To be perfectly honest, I thought we were finished there for a while. Oh, I know. What a lot of close shaves. There are so many carriages on the streets of London. You were very nearly flattened several times. Oh, no, I didn't mean that. Yes, I know. I just like fucking with you. Teehee! It was a marvelous defense, Naruhodo-san. It really was. I was in awe of you. Oh, thanks. And now that your fervent exploits have won us some more precious investigation time, let's see if we can't find some new clues for court tomorrow. Yes, let's do that. Is everything all right? I suppose. I still can't quite believe it, that's all. That I'm here in England, working as a lawyer, I mean. Oh god, if we hit this note so many times, it might as well be a song. In the Old Bailey, no less. The truth is, it shouldn't be me, should I? Oh, it should be him standing in my shoes. It should be Kazuma. It was Kazuma-sama's wish that you follow him to Great Britain and work alongside him. Yes, I mean, I never had the chance to ask him exactly why, but he clearly had a plan. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for him. Dying. And you're doing wonderfully, Naruhodo-san. I've no doubt that Kazuma-sama would say exactly the same if he were here with us. No, he'd be the one defending Soseki. Thank you, Suzato-san. Thank you. Well, let's get out of here. Hey, Sholmes, where are ya? Oh, Bruno and Susie! Hooray, you're back! We somehow didn't get to talk while you were going right upstairs! Hello, Iris. You're in fine spirits as always, I see. I am! And you look as immaculately presented as ever, Susie! Oh, you flatter me. Well, you couldn't have come at a better time. I just made a pot of tea. I'll set some cups. Really? Thanks, Iris. But actually... what is that foul smell? Oh, did Holmes shit on the floor again? Sholmes, you shit on the shore. Jack it up, jack it up, jack it up, jack it up. Aha! The Wanderers are at last. Where on earth have you pair been? We've been in court. Oh, for Mr. Mustache's case. That was today, was it? I'm sure I mentioned it only yesterday, Mr. Sholmes. I'm sure you think you did. Well, I can laugh about it now. Or we can, but mainly me. So tell me, how did the trial go? Reasonably well so far. You managed to escape without a guilty verdict, at least. Really? I would have liked to see it. And I must pass the time of day with Mr. Reaper again. It's been too long! Is Lord Van Sykes an acquaintance, Mr. Sholmes? Naturally! There's not a person in the world who doesn't know my name, Mr. Naruhodo. Not quite what I asked, but still. Mr. Sholmes, whatever is that odor? Oh dear. Yes, what is it? It's a faint but absolutely awful. Ah, indeed. That's the scent of victory, my dear fellows. Victory in science. Oh dear. Alright, I'll bite. What's he up to now? You know what? Hold on. I might need this for a thumbnail. And if I can have all my thumbnails be Herlock Sholmes without his jacket on, I'll like it. I really don't care, but you're probably not going to consider this done until I do it, so fine. Lord Barock Van Sykes. Yes, an interesting Whoa. I want to say Shorbert. Sobriquet. You know what? Hold on. I'm just curious enough that I'm going to ask Google. It's obviously French, which means that T probably isn't really there.
Sobriquet.
Sobriquet. Fun. It's an interesting sobriquet he has, isn't it? The Reaper of the Bailey. Once the legendary prosecutor has fought for someone's conviction, that person is doomed. Even if he or she is found not guilty by the courts, sooner or later the hapless soul will vanish from the capital. Ooh. He's even so legendary his theme song follows him. But vanish how exactly? By falling under a passing carriage, or drowning in the Thames. Or succumbing to a sudden fever, or quite out of the blue, being set upon by a highwayman. Or, as we've learned recently, being set on fire! It's very exciting! There are numerous routes to one's final terminus, my dear fellow. It all seems a little far-fetched, really. Well, on the bright side, Mr. Mustache is fighting fit, for the time being at least. That's not overly reassuring. If the rumors are true, though, the obvious conclusion would surely be that those acquitted are, well, by Lord Van Sykes' own hand. As it happens, Miss Susanoo, that is quite impossible. It all happens during the day, and we know Van Sykes doesn't come out unless there's a court case. Naturally, the man very quickly came under such suspicion. However, whenever these incidents occurred, the Reaper always had a cast iron alibi. Really? And so his reign continued, but 5 years ago, he vanished from the courts, never to appear as a prosecutor again. Though several times appearing as a witness. That is, until you arrived in the country, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, so I've heard. In fact, it was the very day I arrived when I was thrust into the trial at the Old Bailey. That bitter fight to the death coincided with the Reaper's resurrection. It really did end bitterly indeed. Let's cut to that flaming carriage one more time! No? No? Okay. And here you are, facing Mr. Reaper again. Poor Runo! I don't know if you're just incredibly unlucky or incredibly unlikable. I think it goes deeper than just me. I sense a general loathing towards the Nipponese. Suriko, thank you for the 47-month resub. Wow. Of all Japanese people. You wouldn't say one of our great prosecutors is racist? Yeah, sure, let's keep going. With Mr. Natsume, who I'm currently defending, being Japanese as well as Miss Suzato and myself, I felt even more keenly in court today. For some reason, Lord Van Sykes seems to have an inherent disdain of the Japanese. Indeed. It is an interesting observation. Do you know something about it? Do you, Mr. Sholmes? It was about 10 years ago that Barak Van Sykes chose to enter the legal profession. However, before that time, the young man's closest companion hailed from the Empire of Japan. No! What the? Tell us more, Mr. Sholmes! What happened? Okay, wait a minute. This is making even less sense. The final case of the last game happened after this case, because we're flashing back to like just a day after the fourth case in that game. But Sholmes is now already telling us about the beef Van Sykes had, which he only explained at the end of the fifth case. Get your continuity straight, game. Why'd you even have this flashback if you were going to do this shit? I believe I made it clear before. I'm unable to tell you anything about the affair. Oh, but... The veil will be lifted on the events of the past in due course, I have no doubt. For now, however, it is Mr. Mustache who is most deserving of your attention, I believe. Alright, well, speaking of Mr. Mustache, what's with that smell? So what is that indescribably foul smell? You've just described it as foul! Ah, well, most probably this, I would say. What is that? What is that? Type your answers in the comments or chat. My dear fellow, it is, of course, my latest invention! A chemical test that can identify whether or not a tea has been genuine as a drop of... some tea. Oh my! There are some unscrupulous sorts manning the stalls along some of London's less frequented streets. They regularly sell what purports to be high-quality tea, but is in fact merely dyed leads of drab flavor. Well, that's certainly unsavory behavior. So, when one person is presented with what appears to be black tea, one must be careful. Iris! At the ready, early! Let us add a drop of my chemical to this cup of tea here. Do you see what happens? It turned completely black. Yes, my blood was in this tea. Still is, just turned black now. And what a foul odor it's giving off. Indeed. The blacker the tea becomes, and the more foul the odor, the better the tea is. It would appear that this cup was a particularly fine Darjeeling. That's very ingenious. But what do you do with the black liquid now? Why, dispose of it, naturally. Surely you wouldn't like to drink it, would you? There does seem to be a rather obvious problem with your new invention, Mr. Sholmes. Hence why this chemical test is merely a test, my dear madam. I've turned it into coffee! Right. The point is, we are entering a new era of science, in a world of criminal investigation also. Yes, forensic science! Oh, these are such exciting times! Just wait till you get to the early days of DNA testing. I regularly engage with this scientific experimentation alongside my unofficial consulting detective work. The Herlock Sholmes method will be the foundation upon which modern investigative technique is based. This little tea incident was a happy byproduct from my ongoing forensic research. Forensic science? I suppose I should find out more about that. And the conversation just keeps going and it don't stop going. So your tea test, is that an example of forensic science? Indeed it is. An essential tool in cases that hinge on the knowledge of whether some tea is of high or inferior quality. Not a huge number of cases, then. Perhaps a more practical example is required. Fingerprints? Not yet accepted in our courts as evidence, I might add. Really, we are dragging our heels here. I hadn't even heard of them until recently. Which is partly why I undertake research in this field myself, of course. Does that mean you're studying fingerprints, Mr. Sholmes? There are others in that field already, and I abhor the company of inferior minds. No, what I am researching is skin prints. Skin prints? A nomenclature of my own design, as is this chemical agent that makes it possible. It instantly reveals objects touched by whichever person is under investigation. Brilliant, Mr. Sholmes. As long as it doesn't turn everything completely odorous and black. Hey now. Phrasing. I assure you, my dear fellows, you will witness my forensic talents in action very soon indeed. And then he left. Well, I think we should go back to the scene and see if we can uncover any new clues. That's the spirit, Runo! See you later! Yes, until later. Okay, hold on. I want to see if I can do something here. Damn. I was hoping there was like a moment where the screen would cut out with no dialogue, but I'd still see them. That would be the perfect thing. That would be a perfect thumbnail. Sadly, no. No, Mr. Sholmes. We were thinking you'd come with us. You were? But I'd have to put my jacket back on. Well, okay. Yes, of course. You said so just a moment ago. You said we'd witness your forensic talents in action. Ah, yes, I do recall saying something along those lines. But you go on ahead. I shall be sure to follow you later, in all likelihood. Probably. Maybe. Well, I might. Your commitment astounds me. Oh, thank you, Mr. Sholmes. We eagerly await your arrival. Bye-bye, Runo. Bye, Susie. Okay, hold on. Someone brought this up, and now I'm curious. Is there an option for it? Review scene. Q. Is that it? Well, I mean, obviously I can't use it now. Hey, is Miss Green here? I want to make more fat jokes at her expense. Her bag's still here. What do you suppose is happening? It sounds like some sort of disturbance. Yes, I hear angry voices. Hello. Be not angry, O ample lady. Verily, thou art mistaken. Mistaken my foot? You were looking at my painting. I don't even remember what voice I used for her, so I'm still trying to go with little pudgy girl. The eye of man hath not heard, the ear of man hath not seen. 'Twas foul indeed, the poison that mustached villain gaveth me. Forgive me, lady. I wish you died from that poison. God a mercy, ample lady, but thou seest I have vigor still. Behold my Shakespeare dance! Hold on, I'm trying to get a good pose here. There. This looks rather ominous, doesn't it? Yes, but I can't look away. Ah, lo! 'Tis the lawyer from the land whence riseth the sun. How now? What are you doing here, Mr. Shamspear? Mary, I do believe I'd returned from onto another ward. He was looking, that's what he was doing, looking at my terrible work. Eastern fellow, so dark ye clad. Faith, thy work in court this morning was wonderful. I do applaud thee. Oh, well, thank you. But! And there's another one. That doesn't mean things will go wonderfully for you tomorrow, does it? Ooh, well, good job straightening that back out. Anon, exeunt! Peace. Mr. Shamspear might technically be the victim in this case, but there's definitely a lot more to it than that. It's very hard to pin the man down. I'm so sorry, he's such an awful person. Ah, Miss Green, is everything alright? Oh yes, I mean, don't worry about me. They're about to discharge me, so I must get ready to leave now. Oh, I see. We're delighted that you'll soon be well enough to go home, Miss Green. Oh dear, you're too kind. I don't deserve it. I'm just gonna go back over here and sit in my bed. No, over here. Can't do anything about that. So are you feeling more like yourself today, Miss Green? I am, thank you. I mean, people do recover from ordeals like this, don't they? Even people like me? Well, yes, it really was an ordeal, wasn't it? As far as I was concerned, I was just walking along the snow and the snow wasn't even minding my own business. And then completely out of the blue, I was struck in the back by a knife and collapsed unconscious for days. Of course, when I finally woke up again yesterday, the whole business had been cleared up already. What a terrible week it's been for you. Oh no, I'm sure I'm very lucky, really. I look back on this fondly. Really? Anyway, I must be getting my things together now, so I'm ready to be discharged. Oh yes, of course. Sorry to take your time when you're obviously busy. Sitting on the bed like that. Okay, bye. How's Garadeb doing? Mr. Garadeb appears to be out. Oh well, I suppose we'll just have to come back again later. Let's poke around his things first. Really? Even this isn't highlighted anymore? Alright, fine. I'm bored. Wow, you haven't cleaned up at all. I know it's only been like 3 days, but geez. soap is still clearly on the windowsill, guys. Come on. We left, went back to our office, talked to Herlock, and now come back, and there's still no one over here. Jeez.
Hi.
Oh, hello again, Inspector Gregson.
What are you doing here?
Well, we were hoping to have another look around, actually. The lawyer representing the defendant has a right to examine the scene, as I'm sure you're aware.
Yeah, I know the score.
Oh, yes, one other thing. The soap on the ledge outside the window. Did you find it? With the tea in it?
Yeah, we found it all right. And there was a small amount of tea in it, as you said.
I knew it.
It's with the identification section at the yard now. They're looking into it. The results should be available later today.
That's wonderful news. Thank you.
Pretty impressive performance in court this morning.
Sorry?
Nothing, forget it. Just make sure you don't disturb anything in here.
Subtle. Wait, hold on. I thought we got the other half of that letter. I mean, it's checked, so it's still there, but... Let's just ignore the obvious man in the corner. Are you looking for new clues, Inspector?
I'm just standing here waiting for you to leave. On Lord Van Sack's orders, yeah. Don't come back until you got something for me, he says.
Oh dear, poor you.
Yeah, poor me. Because we already searched every bleeding nook and cranny of this place. I don't know what he expects, to be honest. Thank goodness for Warren Chips is all I can say.
Well, at least he's honest. Alright, now we'll talk to you. Poke. Mr. Sholmes, what are you up to over there? What a question indeed! Was it not your good self who asked me to attend the scene? Yeah, but without your jacket. Now it's just kind of okay.
Oh, what are you doing here, Sholmes?
What are you up to over there? What are you doing here? Dear me, once a great detective, one is always under scrutiny, it seems. Is now the time, Mr. Sholmes? Are you about to show us your forensic talents in action as you promised? With the greatest of pleasure, my dear madam. What's all this? All this is precisely what you requested, Mr. Naruhodo. Herlock Sholmes' sensational skin print seeker gun. It doubles as a 6-chamber revolver. Moments ago, I took a sample from the teacup that was used by the victim. A sample? From Mr. Shamspeare's cup? Each individual leaves microscopic secretions on everything he or she touches. A sample of those secretions is all I need to produce this, a refined indicator solution. By deliberately spraying the room with this chemical, everything the victim touched is instantly revealed with the aid of these goggles. Here, try them on. There, now spray the chemical indicator about and all will be revealed. Spray? How do I do that exactly? A little press of space on the area you're interested in is all that's required. Take this! What's all that stuff? It's like fog. A suspension of the chemical indicator in a pressurized gas. It's the most efficient way to cover a large area. That was another invention I discovered incidentally whilst I was developing this idea. Yes, you do. Go ahead, try it, my dear fellow. We may learn something interesting about the victim's movements on the night in question. Well, there's nothing to lose, I suppose. Let's explore. Boop-a-doop boop. Let's start here. How about here? Here. And here. Man. Looks like a gritty drama. Really? Nothing on the letter? He changed his clothes. Are you sure nothing down here? Really? Alright, hold on. I think that means we're done. Or do I keep going until he says stop? I feel like I've squirted it everywhere now. I'm not trying to spray anymore, I'm just trying to look. And I guess I gotta just keep going until Sholmes says stop. So look, he touched both cups. Am I done yet? It doesn't let me stop. Can I look at stuff in the... No, not that. Can I spray this on stuff here? Nope. So much for that idea. Oh, okay. Apparently spraying once wasn't enough. That's very suggestive, if you ask me. Two handprints about a person spaced apart. What do you think happened against this wall? Look, there are dozens of handprints here. So there are. A great many indeed. So much so that it's hard to make out any one individual print, in fact. It sends a chill down my spine. Perhaps he was leaning against the wall while he admired this picture? Unlikely, I would say. It's a rather dull scene, after all. And without wishing to state the obvious, you wouldn't generally admire a picture from such close quarters, I feel. Oh, very true, Mr. Zato. It's a bit of a mystery, then. What more do you want from me, game? Yeah, I noticed that. I can't examine them. I can only spray. That's the problem. Clicking. This is me clicking, not hitting space. Yeah, I've done the other side of the room. There's nothing here. Honestly, I'm surprised there aren't any handprints over here where the letter was. Yeah, Q doesn't do anything. None of the buttons let me seem to progress the scene, leaving me to assume I'm just supposed to need to find something else. I can't spray over here because it just rediscovers these handprints. What about the soap? Ugh. There we go. Jeez, come on, game. Ridiculous. I sprayed all around that letter so many times. The look around button just is what pans the scene left to right. But anyway, we've made progress. Oh, look at all this here. Ah, yes, interesting. A multitude of the victim's handprints. Why are there so many of them on the floor in this one spot? Oh, perhaps he had a bad fall here? There's nothing obvious that he would have tripped over, though, is there? I wonder. Personally, I often stumble when there's nothing obvious to trip over. That's because you're a raging drunk. I think that's something only a great detective would do, Mr. Sholmes. Well, this is quite a puzzle. Handprints all over the floor. Yes, there's no obvious explanation. Good, are we done? Good. Well, we sprayed Mr. Sholmes' amazing skin print indicator all over this room, didn't we? We did, but there are two places in particular that are of interest, I would say. Clearly a loose floorboard. The handprints on the floor there, and on the wall by the picture, you mean? Yes, and I think the floor warrants a closer investigation. It won't be a moment. Ah! What is it, Miss Usato? I got a splinter! Look here, Mr. Naruhodo, one of the floorboards has popped out. One of the... You mean... It's a secret hiding place? Excellent work, Miss Usato. So, what do we have in here?
Oi! What are you lot doing?
Inspector Gregson!
Stand aside right this minute. It's my job to investigate here.
No need, Inspector. You continue to dig in your portion of chips whilst we dig around the floor here.
Your fancy talking's put me off my food anyway, Sholmes. A new bit of evidence is exactly what I need.
Wow, a secret hiding place under the floor. What a find. It's not a hiding place you would make use of in Japan. I don't think I could fit a straw... I don't think I could lift a straw tatami mat. No, I know, but I never expected one of those wooden floorboards to move either. It's got me wondering about the wall over there, too. Aren't you curious? Oh! I'll investigate at once. It's just this ugly painting, Naruhodo! There's nothing behind the picture, sadly. Only the wall. How disappointing. But then, how do you explain the handprints? I really can't think of why anyone would have been touching the wall over and over in one place like that. I can think of two. There you are, a print for you. I call it handy. Oh, thank you very much. His invention can make prints too? Now then, I wonder if Inspector Gregson has found anything under the floor there. I'm desperate to know! So am I! Okay. Hey, Gregsy. I'd love to know if there's anything hidden underneath that floorboard there. Allow me to ask Gregson now. After all, we're well acquainted. You're at perfect crotch height, Gregson. Look up! Inspector Gregson, really, it's been too long.
What is it, Sholmes?
I thought perhaps you might show me what you found there, seeing as we're such good friends.
We're not friends.
Sorry, that's not no-necky enough.
We're not friends!
No, I suppose not. A dismal failure. Yes, I heard. Ugh, I killed to know what's under that floorboard.
Alright then, fair's fair.
What?
You did discover the hiding place, after all. I suppose I should at least fill you in.
Really, Inspector? Thank you. Do it quickly, my dear fellow! If there's one thing I know about this man, it's that he blows with the wind, as fickle as the weather.
Oh, stop making me out of some kind of nut! There were 3 items under the floor there. A newspaper clipping, a photographed print, and a tin box. Now, what do you want to know?
I mean, all the above, but I guess we'll have to go through this rigmarole.
Looks like this was cut out of the paper about 3 months ago. It's about a convict who was sick and died while he was serving up time in Manchester.
How terrible.
It made the headlines down in London as well. The bloke had been sentenced to death, you see, but nature got him first.
Oh my goodness, he committed a capital offense? Susato, for the things we've been doing, I wouldn't be surprised if a bad parking would get you a capital offense here.
A man by the name of Selden. Nasty piece of work in the into burglaries and murder. They say the hoard he knocked off was worth about 1,000 pounds.
A hoard? Of treasure, you mean?
No, a Mongol hoard! What the hell do you think I was meaning? Jewelry and the like. We're hitting it somewhere and no one knows where, now he's dead. Papers loved it, of course. 1,000 pounds lost en route to hell, or some such was the headline.
Does that not strike you, though? Why such an article would be so carefully ensconced under the floor?
I suppose now you mention it, it does seem a bit odd. Perhaps I'll go over the paperwork we've got on sale and back at the yard and see if I can turn anything up. But here, you can have the article. So, this is the photograph I found. Looks reasonably recent to me.
Wait a minute. It's Garadeb and what I think is one of the jurors. God damn it. Either that or the dead tenant. Pick your poison, both suck. Yes, it would appear to have been taken on the street in front of the house here. And the gentleman on the left is Mr. Garadeb, the landlord, of course. But who's the young man on the right? Mr. Garadeb's son, perhaps?
Perhaps. You can take that print if you like.
Really? Are you sure? We can presume, therefore, that the yard already knows. The identity of the young fellow, that is. Ah, is that true?
Well, it's too bad if we do. Unfortunately for you lot, leaking information isn't one of my pastimes.
If it's information relevant to the case, you have a requirement to give it to us. Oh, that's right. This is Victorian England. We haven't had innocent Irishmen convicted of murder. My dear Inspector, if I may be so bold as to point something out. Pastimes are for one's leisure, but this is for work.
All the more reason I'm not telling you!
A dismal failure! Yes, I heard. I wonder why a photograph like this was hidden under the floor. I mean, Mr. Shamsteer himself isn't in it. Photographic prints are still rare treasures in the East End. I imagine Mr. Garadeb was rather delighted to have been immortalized. He probably made a proud present of it.
Now, this tin box looks interesting, doesn't it?
Might I suggest, Inspector, that you open it? If you were to find something inside that reveals the truth behind this case, I wouldn't be in the least surprised.
Yeah, funnily enough, I already had a look. It's a bunch of condoms. Also, it's completely empty.
What? Shamspear! Give us a clue, man! You didn't even have a chance to utter a word, Mr. Naruhodo. But anyway, at least we found out what's inside the box. Yeah, thin air. It's empty, rather like how I feel inside. Aw, mood. Is there nothing more to this box, then? I wonder. It's her favorite actor! complete with its own with his own voice rolls. This cat needs no dubbing. Oh look, it's that lovely little kitty cat. What was its name? It's Mr. Natsume's, isn't it? I don't think we ever asked him, actually. Why don't we call it, Wagahai? You know, like Mr. Natsume refers to himself in Japanese. I wonder how he got here. Clever cat. Oh, wonderful! Well then, Wagahai, here's something delicious I bought for you from the cat's meal man. Oh damn, I should have screen capped that. Shit. He's still over the hole in the floor. He couldn't be happier now. Look. I just hope we can bring some happiness to his owner, too. Aw, he's massaging his paws on the carpet. There we go. There we go. Yes. Yes. More. Give me more. Perfect. You're a star. Got like 5 screenshots from that. That was a cheeky little meow, Wagahai. Oh, but he's so adorable! I could sit and watch him forever. I think he may not appreciate that after a while. We have an investigation to get back to. Alright. Well, have fun perching yourself over that hole, Greg. Wait, hold on. We're done here. Yeah, we're done here. Well, how about you, Mr. Garadeb? Are you back yet? Nope. Anything on Briar Road? Nope. Alright, well, let's go see Natsume then. Well, where the hell are you? Well, fine. I guess while we have this quiet time, let's take a look at the court record again. Yeah, okay, no. Manchester Strangeways Prison announced the death of convicted murderer and burglar Selden by didn't have a last name, natural causes, suffering with fever, lured by the shouts of his fellow cellmate, already dead. Uh-huh. Moon. Oh, what? Oh, hold on. Paintbrushes. To the hospital. Move the camera over here. Who's this? Yeah, no. We already talked about that. There we are. There you are. I knew he looked familiar. Uh-huh. Are we gonna bring up that he's in the photo? Uh-huh. Okay, I guess not. Hold on. Talk to you? I don't think I can present anything, can I? Yeah, no, I can just examine it. Boo. Okay, Not sure what else to do then, game. It doesn't look like I can do anything. Did I miss something back at the apartment? That's the only other thing I can think of. Oh, maybe I should look into where Wagahai came in. Nope. Oh, hello. If you ran out of change, you wouldn't even have any light, let alone heat. For the needy, London's winters can be very harsh. That's true, but if you think about it, even the wealthy could find themselves freezing if they ran out of small change. London's winters can be very harsh for the forgetful, too, then. Frankly, I'm starting to wonder if Suzato-san and I are going to make it to spring. That's true, we don't even have a meter at Baker Street, let alone a gas stove. Look how dark the stain on the floor is underneath the meter here. Yes, from all the water dripping out of the ice coins melted, as you established in court this morning. It's a very large and obvious stain, isn't it? Mr. Shamsey must have used an awful lot of ice coins, I suppose. It was an ingenious idea, I'll give him that. Ah, the ill-fated teacups from which the two men drank on that ill-fated night. During their heated literary debate, yes. Who's stronger, Romeo or Juliet? Sounds like it was quite a discussion. Now I think of it, I'm sure the two lovers in the play ended their lives with poison. That's fiction, Miss Suzato. Let's hope it stays that way. The sun never shines in this room thanks to that depressing bricked-up window. Yet, with enough determination, you can always remove the bricks to set some soap aside, can't you? That sounds like a very wise life lesson, Miss Suzato. Only if you plan to follow a life of crime, Mr. Naruhodo. Stop bumming me out! Just stop! Miss Suzato, you're bumming me out. Look at the cat. Yeah, no, I know the box at least has had handprints on it, but we can't do anything to examine it. Alright, now is Garadeb here? Nope. Is Natsume in his jail cell? Did he get out or what? What? Where the hell did you go, Natsume? Alright, back to Shamspeare's room. There's nothing over here. I already tried, I did a whole scan of the room. Nothing. I already talked to you, as the checkmark clearly states. What, do I need to go back to Sholm's room now? Tell him about the cat? I didn't think so. Oh, what you doing? Iris? That's incredible concentration, that is. I find it quite remarkable how she can focus on so many different things at once. Perhaps I should try drinking more herbal tea. Oh, okay. She actually was talking. The blend third from the right would be good for you, Runo. Iris? This girl is destined for great things, I'm sure. She's already a famous writer. Now can I present something? No. Okay, alright, I'm a bit at a loss here for what to do. They can't even mention the fact that that's the picture of the guy. I don't want to just be randomly running around trying to find stuff. That's the worst part of a freaking point-and-click game. Where is Soseki? Like, seriously. Is he dead? Did he escape? I can't do anything with that painting on the floor. I know I can't. Nothing. Briar Road's outside of the Garadev house. And there's nothing there. I feel like I need to go to one of these places. Either Mr. Garadev to ask about the photo or to prison to talk to Soseki, but they're not there. They're in the abyss. Is there... I mean, the only thing I could figure is that I haven't done everything I need to do in Shamspeare's room, but there's nothing else to click on. I've already examined all the evidence. What? The soap? I don't even want to grace this with voice acting. Yes, the soap. The soap he broke open to get the coin. Yes. 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 Uh-huh. Prison now? Are you kidding me? Gah. Have we tried turning stuff to look at the back? There's nothing else to look at. The 3 new things we were given can't be inspected like that. Yeah, Shums gave us that. These two were in the floorboards, and the tin box didn't get added to the record. I'm surprised the teacups are both in the court record and still in the room. Omega Syntax, thank you for the 52-month resub. Welcome to Purgatory, where nobody's showing up on cue. Am I gonna have to pull up a walkthrough just to figure out where the hell I'm supposed to go after this? Because I cannot figure it out. I feel like there are people not showing up on cue. But so far, I haven't run into anything I would consider a bug, so I'm left to assume I'm just not doing something right. I can examine the soap hole for the 4th time? Are you kidding me? I really hope I can't. Yeah, no, okay, so we got the coin. Yes, the tea. Don't have anything more of this envelope. Well, what happens if I talk to Gregson again? Nothing. Ah! Alright, fine. Fuck it. I'll look this up. Jeez, we're annoying as hell. Well, I feel like that's admitting failure. I'd rather just cheat. Okay, hold on. Resolve Case 2. Investigation Part 2. Oh, great. There are 2 other trial parts after this. That may be spoilers, but I'm already annoyed. Okay, yeah, we're talking to Sholmes in the suite. Shamspeare's room. Examine Sholmes. Handprints. Examine Gregson. Get the 3 items. After you finish investigating the crime scene, Soseki's cat will come out. Susato is delighted to see the cat and gives him food. Ryunosuke calls him Wagahai, and she agrees with the name. After this case, Iris and Sholmes will look after... We know this. Move to the prison. Okay, I'm in the prison. Soseki isn't here. This walkthrough is garbage. Gotta love it! Wagahai on the carpet? It wasn't looking like anything was popping up. Like, there's it for Wagahai, and then nothing. Okay, this is gonna be boring as hell, but I'll slowly scan the entire room. I do not think there's anything left in this room that we can discuss that is new. I did read the newspaper. I looked at all the evidence I was given after looking in this room. What was that? Right there. Window. The teacups and the soap we've looked at. Clothes had handprints on them, but we apparently don't care. Already looked at the gas meter. Yep, gas meter. Or gas meter. What was that? Uh-huh. Was it just the gas meter I was running over? The lamp. The cat. The stage. Yeah, no, everything has a check mark. Fuck it. I'm annoyed as hell, and I'm looking at an hour left. Turn this on to enable story mode in place of autoplay, allowing you to progress through the game automatically without having to press any buttons. Okay. Just take me to the next bit of info, and I'll turn you right back off. Well, so much for not having to press any buttons. The consultancy? Why the fuck am I going back here? Okay, stop. What the fuck, game? What the actual fuck? Why am I back here? Of all it... Okay, hands up. Of the 70 people in chat, who here actually thought going back to the consultancy was the real next step in this investigation? Even the frickin' walkthrough I picked up didn't say go back to the consultancy. Tiny Train World, that's a lie. There are liars in this chat. You are all sus. Alright. Get this off. I don't want it. I don't even want it as an option anymore. I'm mad. It was quite a shock earlier today, wasn't it? When the victim himself turned up in court and took the stand. Not really. I know. Not only that, but then finding out he's actually a barefaced gas thief as well. Yes, that was certainly a surprise to us all. For a while. Oh god, I got acid reflux now. Well, who's supposed to... I mean, how do I predict that Soseki is apparently not in his jail cell right now? For a while, it seemed as though everyone had quite forgotten about Soseki-san poisoning the tea. Careful of your phrasing, Susato-san. He didn't poison anything. And there's more to this sham spear than we yet know, I'm sure of it. Mr. Shamspeare certainly wasn't the noble, upstanding man everyone thought he was at first. What's become of him, actually? I was told that he'd be returning to the hospital ward where he was... Okay, we already got... Okay, so apparently the problem is I was supposed to have this conversation before we went to Shelm Suite. But I thought we were done. We already had our big spiel. Why was there more to talk about? Because now apparently we've already jumped ahead of the game here. Because we already got this part. Same hospital. Oh, God. Really, Naruhodo? You're the one that says after Soseki stabbed Miss Green in the back? Ugh. This game is trying my patience tonight. Ugh. Yeah, what did Kazuma want me to do? Get on with this investigation? I agree. Kazuma Asogi, the best friend I ever had, and a lawyer with such promise. He's dead now. He really saved my bacon in that horrible incident just before we left Japan. You know, by standing there and yelling a lot. I can still picture him now, looking so fierce and determined in court. And then after the trial, that crazy idea he came up with. As a stowaway? Yes, you can fit inside my trunk if you curl up small enough, I'm sure. No one will know. Kazuma, won't you tell me... Oh, Kazuma, won't you tell me why? Why go to these lengths just so I can accompany you to Great Britain? Well, it's been on my mind ever since we got through that trial. But you really ought to go into law. Be a defense lawyer. You've got a natural talent for it. Believe me, I guarantee it. But I've never even thought about becoming a lawyer. Well, I can't force you, obviously. You'll have to decide for yourself. But anyway, London is the cultural capital of the world, the city at the forefront of everything. It can't hurt for you to see it with your own eyes. No, that's true. I suppose, though, if you were to become a lawyer, then one day... One day what? Oh, no. Never mind. Huh? And that's why I killed him. Naruhodo-san. Oh, sorry, I was just thinking about Kazuma. Yes, he's forever in my thoughts, too. To change the Japanese judicial system for the better. That was his dream. Oh, he was probably afraid that he'd become a prosecutor and we'd have to fight him. Well, good thing he's dead! Knock on wood. He's dead, right? He totally died? Head injury? Totally dead? Someone check that body. We dumped it in the sea, right? And that's why he so desperately wanted to come to Great Britain to study, of course. Yeah, that's right. But... Yes? I do wonder if his true intentions lay elsewhere sometimes. I don't know. The thought just takes hold of me every now and then, that's all. We still... I'm just gonna blitz through this what's next. We already did what's next. Yeah. Yeah, 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 how did that happen? Yeah, we already did all of that. Oh my god. Yeah, I know. The T. All of Gregson. We did run into Gregson. Okay, so yeah, we were supposed to have this conversation before leaving the apartment. Which is annoying, because you did not prompt me with this. You just said, hey, you want to talk or you want to get a moving? And believe me, game, if I have the opportunity, I would like to move. Naruhodo-san, what do you mean by Kazuma-sama's true intentions? I don't know why, but just the image this conjures in my head is hilarious. It's like he's about to cut her head off. Senmaru, thank you for the 42-month resub. I mean this. His katana. I never expected to inherit this sword after Kazuma passed away, of course. No, I know. It was because I asked you to take it. When I have it at my side in court, I feel as though it gives me courage. Yes. Actually, the night before he died, he told me a little about the sword. Kuruma? That's right. It's a prized sword that's been passed down through generations of the Asogi clan. My thumb! A Japanese man's sword is his soul, Ryunosuke. I can't be parted from my katana. Kuruma guides me. I truly believe that. I wonder, when he lays down to go to bed, does his headband still try to flutter behind him? Or does it kind of like bend to go up? So its name compels its wielder to slice evil in two? Not that you need such much compelling. On that subject, there's something very important I have to do in Great Britain. Something you have to do? Yes. I'd appreciate you seeing it through with me. Of course I will. Whatever it is, I'll see it through the end with you. I knew you wouldn't let me down. What do you mean by something very important that I have to do? I'd hoped that the answer to that question would become apparent when we arrived here, but as yet, I've not found a single clue. I see. Good. Now let's leave. Please, for the love of God, let Soseki-san be in jail. Hooray! He's in jail! Woohoo! That was dumb. Oh, Mr. Natsume is back. So he is. Mr. Natsume, hello? I am a cat! sorry? I don't know who Mr. Natsume is, or Herlock Sholmes. I don't know about courts or trials or Old Baileys. I'm a cat. That's what I am. Just a cat. Mr. Naruhodo, he's trying to escape from reality. Trying to? He already has, completely. So, what is your name then? Oh god. What's the secret name of cats? What would be not so we have Soseki Natsume as his first and second name. What is his third name? The third name of this cat is Musi. His name is now Musi. As yet, I have no name. Mr. Naruhodo, he hasn't fully thought out his new identity yet. Maybe it's not too late to bring him back to reality. Do you think you could open your eyes for us, Mr. Natsume? Katsune. That's a good one. I'm not a cat. It worked! He's back in the real world. What's going to become of me? No! Don't answer that! It's obvious! My accursed soul is never going to escape this accursed fate! Mr. Natsume, no! This morning's proceedings in court prove that there's hope! Yes, locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire was brilliant, but the Reaper is omnipresent! In court, in my lodgings! Here, there, everywhere! What's he looking straight at me for? I think perhaps there are some things we should discuss? Oh, yes, we must! In my whole life, I have ever been so moved as I was today. No! Of course, if I cast my mind back, there are perhaps one or two other occasions that move me more. Or if I just block those out, then today, being in that courtroom was in the most moving experience of my life, locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire! You're too kind. Scotland Yard found the remaining tea, just as we deduced, and we're analyzing it as we speak. There's nothing wrong with that tea! They won't find a drop of poison in it! That's a solemn sworn Soseki certainty! Okay, well now that you've said it, means they will find poison in it. Tell me, do you both drink the tea at the same time that night? Did you both drink tea at the same time that night? Oh yes, most definitely! Remember, drink tea while it's hot! We both poured it down our throats like it was a hot bath for our bellies! And at the time, you were both completely fine. As shown by the fact that he and Mr. Shakespeare then engaged in the Romeo and Juliet match. I suppose the focus of tomorrow's proceedings will be how the poison was taken by the victim then. That rotten Shakespeare! What have I ever done to him? You don't recall him taking issue with you over anything you've done recently? I've been holed up in my room, immersed in books. I don't recall anything at all! Right. What I don't understand is why you didn't let me know sooner. But you know what, Mr. Natsume? About the soap, of course! What else? Oh dear. Are you struggling with such a meager stipend? Of course I am! If I had money! I wouldn't have chosen a life and a cursed existence in such accursed lodgings! Oh yes, you said it's because the place is cursed that it's so cheap, didn't you? Exactly! Especially the room that I rent! That spirit of that capital offender who lived there still haunts the place, and he's trying to kill me! So, it just came to mind. But... hold on. Sorry to break the mood. The tenant that was in Natsume's room died. I forget why. Nah, it's such a random thought. Capital offender? Might I ask local student Mr. Naruhodo, Esquire, that the next time you visit me, you bring us scores of super soft soups! Okay, well, let's go get you your soap. However... What do you think of this? Oh, okay, hold on. This is actually going somewhere. What's this? It's a newspaper cutting we found in Mr. Shamspeare's room. Aw, so he knew, did he? Sorry? About this man, Selden. A convicted killer, and the evil spirit behind the curse that afflicts my lodgings! What? He's already taken one young man's life, and now he's trying to take the life of another. A miserable mustached, much maligned Japanese man! Mr. Natsume, if you know something, please, you must tell us. Tell us everything you can about this evil spirit. The truth is, I didn't know the details myself until very recently. That Selden man was arrested about a year ago now. And at the time, he was hiding out in lodgings at Mr. Garadep's house. What? He lived where you do now? That's right, yes, exactly where I live now, in my very room. Oh my, your room was previously occupied by a criminal found guilty of a capital offense. Before a sentence could be carried out, he died in prison. It was 3 months ago now. And that's when it started. The curse! What really is this curse you keep mentioning, Mr. Natsume? It's already caused one death a few months after the criminal passed away in prison. A man died in the room. The man who rented it after Selden, in fact. The poor lodger, he was found dead. It was showing circumstances. The room was locked from the inside. Locked from the inside? Exactly like the case we're dealing with now. So that's the convict's curse, is it? Yes, well, that was the start of it. Do you have any idea how the lodger before you passed away, Mr. Natsume? The official cause of death was asphyxia. When they discovered the body, the room was full of gas. Gas? He farted himself to death! I only found that out after I signed the lease. Damn, Garadeb hid the details! And when I asked him about it, all he said was moon! When Mr. Garadeb came to tell me later, I couldn't stop myself trembling. In fact, if I'd known beforehand, I'd probably have been too scared to take the room. Landlord's lease, luckily legal! Lucky for Mr. Garadeb, maybe, but not so lucky for poor Mr. Natsume. So, it is a requirement when you sell or lease a premises to inform, well, it depends on the state. Texas requires it for sale of real estate. I don't know if they require it for leases, but if someone died on the premises, you do have to tell the purchaser. Just thought I'd put that out there. I haven't had a lot of time to have some legal lessons in this actual game, so I thought I'd take that as a aside, since the game's already punked me. Lucky for Mr. Garden, maybe, but not so lucky for poor Natsume. And now you believe this curse is affecting you? It is! At first, I just felt as though I was being watched. All the time. And then you talked about having nightmares, didn't you? The dead are trying to take me with them. They come for me and try to suffocate me. Just when I'm struggling to breathe, I wake up. And the room is as cold as ice. It's as cold as ice. I'm willing to sacrifice my love just to get out of this room. But why is your room so cold? London winters are too cold to bear without any heating on overnight. But for some reason, even though I light the stove before I climb to bed at night, the pilot light always goes out and the room fills with gas. But that's terrible. Not exactly the same situation as what led to the previous occupant's death. And then there was what happened to Mr. Shamspeare last night when he was mysteriously poisoned. There's clearly more to that incident that can be explained by a curse, though. Whatever can be the cause of all these strange happenings in Mr. Garrett rooms? Sounds like your problem, then. Bye-bye! Well, let's try the Garrett now. There you are. Oh, so you're here now, Mr. Garrett. Really bally business it is for me, you know, getting out and about. Were you at the Old Bailey by any chance? Why, yes, I was the standby juror. Naturally, fate of my lodgings hanging in the balance and all that. Not a trial to miss. The fate of what's already been dubbed your haunted lodgings, yes. Of course, the place has caused quite a stir around the capital on more than one occasion already. As the old haunted lodgings or some such. Ah, well, at least he knows. Makes you wonder what the place is going on, don't you know? Yes, I'm sure it does. In fact, thinking back to Mr. Natsume's other trial just 2 days ago. You were at the Old Bailey then as well, weren't you? Testifying with your wife about what happened. And then serving as a juror at the tail end of it. Are we just ignoring the fact that Sholmes is here, by the way? Stopped off at the prison on the way home, in fact. Beastly business. I see. Oh, his cup despawned. So, what brings you to my haunted abode today, eh? Some fishy fellow from the Far East and a failed actor chap of questionable character, eh? Yes, the house does seem to have become something of a magnet for rum fellows of late. Thanks to that bally curse. The convict's curse, you mean? Ah, heard the stories, have you? Rotten scoundrel was arrested here, then the next chap in the room goes and keels over. Then there was that woman who dropped dead just outside the street, not to mention the actor yesterday. Am I next, eh? Well, can't help but get the collywobbles, can you? When you say that woman who dropped dead outside on the street, do you mean Miss Green? Because Miss Green, who was stabbed by the knife, and Mr. Shamspeare, who was poisoned last night, are both very much alive still. Yes, well, so is that blasted convict's curse, it seems. Personally, I should be quite content with such lodgings. A bath, a toilet, a fireplace, a fascinating history. Why? It sounds like a lap of luxury. I'm not so sure about that. Well, there's no bath or toilet included, and no fireplace either. But you look out for your tenants, don't you? By watching the rise and fall of the flames in your gas lamps up here. Yes, never hurts to keep an eye on things, in case there are any mishaps or such like. I think you've had your mishap already, sir. That's not helpful, Mr. Sholmes. Heaven forgive me. The words just came to my lips. Some fishy fellow from... Wait, didn't we already do this? Oh, that... Wait. We already did the lodgings. Did you just start the same line, though? Your lodgings, your lodgers. Okay. Wait, what? Yeah, it started with the same line. Okay, weird. That's right. Mr. Natsume is in no way fishy. He was undeniably peculiar, however. Is that right, that he took the vacancy immediately after the previous tenant passed away? Yes, that's right. I asked the estate agent to find someone, and he popped up the very same day. Never come across a chap so keen for a place with a background, as it were. I don't think it was the room's background he was keen on, so much it was the cheap rent, actually. So, how long has Mr. Shamspeare been lodging under your roof? That failed actor chap? Let me see. Oh, of course! Yes, it's been 3 months now, quite sure of it. Only 3 months? He's quite new here too, then. And to what do you owe your certainty in that regard, Mr. Gardev, if I might ask? Well, it was that Selden scoundrel, as it happens. Selden? The convict, you mean? Do Selden and Shamspeare have some kind of connection, then? That convict chap Selden passed away in the clink 3 months ago now, you see. Some malady or other. Yes, we've seen the report from the newspaper at the time. Well, it was only 3 days later that the tragedian showed his face. The actor fellow. Really? Yes, I remember it quite distinctly. 'Tis small, this world we inhabit. Pray thee, landlord, hear my request. I, the humble Shamspeare, do desire to take thy room on the middle floor offered erewhile for rent. Terribly sorry and whatnot, but that won't be possible. I already have a lodger on the middle floor. Ground floor room's vacant, though. Nothing can be made out of nothing. Let me repeat mine will unto thee. Those curls must be muffling your ears. The room on the middle floor is taken. It's the ground floor or nothing. Very well, we have an accord. Glad to hear it. Welcome to Briar Road. Lo, a Shamspeare dance to celebrate. Ooh, 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 ooh. And then he did that for an hour. But what I heard in court today sounds like the chap was thieving gas. And he was 3 months in arrears with rent, too. Yes, the fellow was a bally player, all right. You let him stay here for he never paid rent to you? Why did you let him stay? Thank you for your candor, Mr. Garadab. We are most grateful. By way of appreciation, allow me to say 1 or 2 words. Give me my robe, put on my crown. I have immortal lodgings in me. What's happened to you? Shakespeare, my dear fellow, one of his most famous lines! I wish to divulge my own learning of the subject, for I have a turn for literature too, you know. Perhaps you could turn your attention to more apt lines then? Right, the photo. What do you make of this? Mr. Garrett, could I ask you to look at this photograph? Not that button. Is that your son who's with you there? No, not at all. He was a lodger here once. Duncan Ross was his name. Duncan Ross? A street photographer happened to be passing, so I asked him to take a shot. Just for kicks, really. Oh, Vamplant, thank you for the 4 gift subs. Anything interesting happen? Well, I got stuck on something for like 30 minutes, but we got past that part. Now it's just tidying up this investigation. Turns out Shamspeare was hiding more than just stolen gas. Was he by any chance the lodger before Mr. Natsume? Yes, that's right. Ah, the young gentleman who died in the room in mysterious circumstances. Just what Mr. Mustache was waiting for, one might say. Yes, young Duncan lived in the room at the top of the first flight of stairs before that Japanese chap. Would you mind telling us a little more about him? Yes, Duncan Ross. The young chap was attending art school. Had to pay for it, mind. Had to work for paid for it, mind. Moved to the middle floor room about a year ago, after that criminal Selden was arrested. Young students are always on the hunt for rooms with a history behind them. A history of cheap rent, maybe, yes. Yes, well, anyway. It was one morning about a month ago now. Hadn't quite worked out the trick of watching the gas lamps to see what my lodgers were up to at the time. Sadly, I was rather tardily to discover what had happened. The smell of gas that alerted me what it was. Ah, yes. Synonymous with the smell of death. Because they fart. Called the police straight away, of course, and the officer kicked the door off the hinges. But once we got inside, we all bloody collapsed. Because of the gas? Yes, room was full of it. No air at all. Stove must have gone out while the poor chap was sleeping in his bed. So Mr. Ross suffocated to death. Of course, the police gave me a sound ticking off because the gas pipes were old and all that. I can't tell you how much to send me back to have the lot replaced all over the house. But even after you had all that work done, Mr. Natsume says the same thing. The stove goes out at night while he's asleep in bed. Well, that's the bloody curse! The convict's curse! I've done my duty as a landlord now! The fucking exorcist is not in the lease! Someone's feeling defensive. Ah, that reminds me, actually. Yes? About young Duncan, the night before the poor chap perished. He'd been writing a letter of affection to a young lady. Alright, well, who are the ladies we know so far? Miss Green, I assume. Why else is she back in the story? Yes, where did I put it now? Ah, here it is. Left it on my desk. I've been holding on to this for 3 months. Don't ask why. If you excuse me, let me see now. What does it say? To my most beautiful and charming sweetheart. Do you think that we should be reading such a personal piece of correspondence? Why not? He's dead! My dear Miss Susato, that is precisely why I prefaced my reading with, if you'll excuse me! I will not excuse you, Mr. Sholmes, no! Sadly, you didn't address it, though. So I've no means of delivering the thing. Rather sad, really. I see. That's going to play on my mind. But really, the identity of Miss Ross's sweetheart has no bearing on the case. Because you've said it, it will now not be the case. I think we should leave Welland alone. Yes, I suppose you're right. No, I don't. I disagree. Disagree strongly. Indeed, the intended recipient's address is missing. However, There's a name attributed to the man's most beautiful and charming sweetheart. Mr. Shums, please, I've already had to chastise you about this once. My undying love to you, my colorful darling. Olive green. Oh! Olive green? The woman who was plunged into a coma after a knife plunged into her back outside this room 5 days ago? The victim of the last case Soseki-san was in court for, who regained consciousness only yesterday? And the prom's tomorrow? It didn't fit, but it just felt right. Is it just chance that her name has come up now? Could it possibly be a mere coincidence? Mr. Naruhodo, whatever can this mean? Reading personal correspondence can have its merits, you see, Miss Susato. Oh. Okay, well, this is great talking to you. Bye. I think we're finally making some progress. Mr. Naruhodo, I've just finished speaking with the doctor. Miss Green's dead. It seems Miss Green is well enough to be discharged at last. This is good news, but hopefully just before she leaves. Ah! What is it? Look slightly to your left. What are you drinking? I don't know, but it makes me feel better. Miss Green! What was that? She clearly just hit something behind her back. Oh, what?
One moment! I'll play with you in a jiffy! Oh, hello everyone! What are you all doing here? The doctor said I can be discharged, so I'm just getting my things together.
Miss Green, what were you just doing?
Oh, nothing really. I was just about to take some medicine the doctor prescribed for me, that's all.
Well, we were hoping to have another quick chat with you, if that's alright.
Oh, I don't really have anything else to tell you.
Alright, she's definitely behaving strangely. Let's see if we can't coax something out of her. First, move aside, I'm looking at that bottle. This is the bottle Miss Green was just about to drink from when we arrived. Yes, she looked rather preoccupied, didn't she? Perhaps it's very bitter. I can't stand bitter medicine. I suppose that could be it. In fact, whenever a doctor prescribes me medicine for a number of days, I always take it all at once. Oh no! Well, if you have to take something you don't like, it's best to get it all out of the way in one go, isn't it? Oh dear. And I thought it was Miss Green I should be worrying about at the moment. Oh, okay. Got an achievement for that. How about the photo? This is the card that Miss Green was looking at so intently before, isn't it? Mr. Naruhodo, we shouldn't be peeking at a young woman's private effects. We were just looking at her medicine, so... Right, I should say peeking for gentlemen's effects only. You mustn't do that either. Again, internal monologue. How did you respond like that? And maybe you, Miss Susato, shouldn't be peeking into a young man's mind either, Okay, get it straight. Is everyone here telepathic but me? That seems like a part of the world we should discuss. Alright, hey, you want to be sad? Here's your boyfriend. Miss Green, we were hoping to ask you about someone. Mr. Duncan Ross. You knew him, didn't you?
Oh no, my purple stuff!
Oh no, I'm so sorry. The bottle of medicine fell down where she did. She's so fat. Oh, Miss Green, are you alright? I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to startle you like that.
No, it's alright. I just wasn't expecting it. But how do you know about Duncan?
Well, see, he's a great fighter for House Atreides. That's your Dune reference on top of your legal lesson. I think I've covered all my bases for a stream. Mr. Ross had been writing a letter when he passed away. The landlord found it in his room. It was a very personal letter to you.
It was at the art school. That's where I met Duncan a year ago now. He was at work working to fund his studies. He dreamt of becoming a professional artist one day.
And the two of you became romantically involved?
Yes, that's right. We were very much in love. We were engaged to be married, actually. That's why I decided to move to a cheaper room to save money for the wedding.
And that's what led him to Mr. Garadev's.
Yes, he told me he found the worst but cheapest room in the entire East End. And then, 1 month ago, that's when it happened.
We're so terribly sorry, Miss Green.
Well, it's all in the past now, I suppose.
So, ongoing theory, Sham Spear is either somehow related to Selden, or maybe even Selden himself. I wouldn't be surprised. He's trying to get back at something that's hidden in the middle room, but when he got back, that's when Duncan was already there, so he killed Duncan. And then now is framing Natsume, so once Natsume's in jail, he can get into the middle room. I was starting to think that it's just her look. But now I see that she has every reason to feel the universe is against her. Okay, now can we talk to you? Well, to completely change the mood completely, it's wonderful news that you're going to be discharged, Miss Green.
Oh, yes. I mean, thank you. Once people are better, the hospital staff don't want them lingering and wasting space. Not people like me, anyway. So I don't think I should keep anyone waiting. I probably shouldn't stand around and chat.
She certainly doesn't seem to be in the mood to talk, that's for sure. Here, can we look at your dead boyfriend's photo again?
I do hope you won't think I'm being rude, but... Would you mind leaving me in peace now? I have to leave the hospital soon.
Oh, I'm so sorry. We didn't mean to hold you up. Of course, we'll be on our way. Mr. Naruhodo! Mr. Naruhodo! Surely you're not about to leave. That's quite out of the question. What? Mr. Sholmes? I didn't realize you were here. Well, of course I was, my dear fellow. Watching intently from the shadows, as always. Well, make your presence known next time. Oh my god, the rat's dead. Avert your eyes. Dead rat. That's some bitter medicine. Yeah, sorry, we've got animal violence on the show now. Sorry about that, folks. Didn't see it coming. Mr. Sholmes, what is this about? Something which occurs to me with some regularity, Miss Usato, is this. Why do detectives insist on such an ex post facto modus operandi? Why solve a case after it's happened, instead of preventing a case before it happens? That is what sets a great detective apart. What do you mean? There is a case waiting to happen under our very noses, Mr. Naruhodo. So let us avert disaster. Let us prevent this case from ever happening, with nothing but careful observation. Alright. All the clues you need are set before you. You need only look, and you cannot fail to see. You can do it, Mr. Naruhodo. I know you can. Okay, move aside, fatty. Let's look at this dead ratty. That mouse seems to be dead. Look, I didn't notice it before, did you? I think perhaps it drank the medicine that spilled out of the bottle. But that's the bottle that Miss Green was about to drink from when we arrived. You don't think... Ah, I see you've come to appreciate the true nature of this scene. That of a tragedy about to take place. Yes, I think it's falling into place. Miss Green, the contents of the bottle you had before is spilt out on the floor. And the poor mouse that drank it has sadly died. Oh! I think it's clear that the bottle must have contained a powerful poison. Don't worry, I will tend to the mouse presently. I will give it a traditional British funeral for mice. She just throws it out the window. F for the mouse in chat. Although now I can't get the image out of my head of Susanna just taking the mouse by the tail and slinging it out the window. I've taken care of the mouse. Miss Green, were you intending to go the same way as that rodent? I love it when the game syncs up just perfectly. To take your own life? I mean, the mouse did not do that voluntarily. She was gonna. Once we'd left, you would have put it to your lips again, wouldn't you? And taken the poison? No! Miss Green, please talk to us. Okay, then I'll just look at your probably suicide note. Definitely feel as though this card must be relevant. I mean, when we first arrived, Miss Green was standing with it in her hand in what only could be described as a very tense atmosphere. Yes. Oh, yes. It might be very well related to whatever incident Mr. Sholmes believes is about to happen here. Perhaps we should ask Miss Green about it. Okay. Back to the conversing, then. No, not that. No, not that. Come on. Ten seconds later, we would have arrived at a very much different scene here. In all probability, we would not have enjoyed this most delightful conversation. Of course, perhaps it hasn't been quite so delightful from your perspective, Miss Green. Actually, in a way, now that everything's out in the open, I feel like a weight's been lifted. Tell me, how did you acquire that medicine? It's very much marked purple for poison. Well, with this being a hospital and all, when the doctor comes to examine me in the mornings, he always leaves the medicine cabinet open for a while, so I snuck this out while I wasn't looking. It conspicuously lacks a label. I wonder what it contains. Let me take a sip. I'm afraid I don't really know, but I thought if I drank it, it might just stop the pain somehow. Oh, please, Miss Green, don't talk of such things. Well, it seems clear now that it contains poison. Yes, that poor little mouse is proof of that. Oh no! Oh, it's not my fault! What have I done? I shall remove this to my office, Miss Green. I take it you have no objection? What? You don't get to take it, Sholmes! It's the hospital's! Someone should tell them that they probably should lock their cabinets. No, none. Neither the sender's name or address appear to be written on the envelope or the card.
It arrived by post at my home the day before the incident that put me in the hospital here.
Oh, well, doesn't that part look familiar? I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 p.m. on the 17th. Don't tell anybody else about this letter or the meeting. It is a matter of utmost importance. Wait a minute. The 17th of this month? That's the day you were stabbed on Briar Road. And 5 p.m. is precisely the time when the incident occurred. The Slug and Salad, yes, a pub on the northern corner of Briar Road. Briar Road, being the street the McGarridib's house is on. Does this mean that...
Yes, I'm sure you've guessed. That day when I was struck in the back by the knife, I was actually on my way to the Slug and Salad.
Goodness. So that's what you were doing on Briar Road that day. The mystery no one had asked for.
I'm sorry I didn't say anything before. I think I really will have to ask you to excuse me now.
Damn it.
I told you everything. And by the looks of the height of this window, if I think I jump just right, I can hit the pavement.
Yes, I'm very sorry to have to drag up such painful memories for you.
No, it's fine.
Miss Green, please promise us you won't try to do anything like that again. Just because Sholmes has the bottle does not mean you are in any way prevented. Yeah, no one should leave you alone right now, so I'm just gonna stay here. I'll sit on this easel.
Yes, don't worry, your detective friend has the bottle now anyway. And besides, I've been stabbed in the back and had a close shave with the bottle of poison, and I'm still here. I think I'm destined to see things through to the end. It might sound a little conceited, but well, that's how it all has made me feel.
Leaving Miss Green and St. Bartholomew's behind, we made our way back to Baker Street with Mr. Sholmes. To be continued? Damn it! Well, it would appear we've reached the end of the investigative trail for today. Yes, it's late. And Mr. Naruhodo? Did you discover anything that may be of use to you in court tomorrow, do you think? Details about Mr. Shamspear, Mr. Garridib's lodgings, the convict Selden. There are many facets to this case, and we're yet to see the heart of it, if you ask me. That's my feeling anyway. I can't help wondering about the results of the analysis. Into Mr. Natsume's tea, you mean? Yes, will they have found strychnine in it or not? Well, I fear that either way, it will be hard to escape the grip of our friend Mr. Reaper. Oh dear. Yes, Barrick Van Zykes. But I wish you every success, of course. No, and though I was late to rise this morning, tomorrow will be a new dawn. I intend to spring from my bed at a crisp hour and attend the trial. Mr. Sholmes, you're going to come? Indeed, whatever happens, I shall be there, coming as usual. Assuming my eyelids cooperate in the morning. Well, I think we've done all we can. All that's left is to remain focused and keep fighting for Mr. Natsume's cause until the very end. London, the world's most prosperous city, has home to some 6 million people, but away from the razzle-dazzle. Razzle-dazzle? Down back alleys and behind bricked-up windows, the lonely lurk. Soseki-san had battled long and hard with loneliness during his many months here. and so I felt honor-bound to battle equally hard for my compatriot, to lift the curse that gripped him. As Mr. Shum said, tomorrow would be a new dawn for all of us. Hey, that looks like a to be continued. To be continued? There we go. To be continued. To be continued. To be continued. All right. Next week, guys. Anyway, go ahead and check back with me tomorrow at about 7, where I will be resuming my playthrough of modded Skyrim. I'm trying to make people run faster. But let's see. For tonight, let's see. Looks like Kieran's working... Oh, he's actually playing Yu-Gi-Oh! We usually raid Lanny, so let's see what Kieran's doing. Hey, okay, good, that works. Alright, everyone be nice to Kieran, say hello, check in on him, make sure he's schooling those children in Duel Monsters. I will be back tomorrow, and have a good night. Bye!